Hi there, Patty. Good afternoon. Hi, Rhonda. Glad to see you guys here today. Mad Princess Creations. That's Kelly, right? I haven't seen you in a few days. Hi, Rebecca. Rhonda said, pretty fabrics for today. Hi, Creative Minds. All right, Suzanne. Awesome. I just started like 15 seconds ago. The 1952 Trouble. Finally made my first live to talk. I love all your videos and your ornaments. My name is Deborah. Hi, Deborah, from just east of Wichita, Kansas. I'm glad to have you here. Patty said, haven't made any ornaments yet. Ordered my supplies from the shop today. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Patty. I'm excited for you to get started. Today I'm going to be doing the Sunburst pattern, and I haven't made one of these in a long time. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it all goes well. There may be some mistakes here today. And for those of you guys who may be watching this in the future, future viewers of this live stream, just keep in mind that this is a live stream. And I won't be going step by step through all the instructions. However, we do have a step-by-step video tutorial to make this pattern, plus lots of other patterns. Our step-by-step tutorial is linked in the description. I linked it right in the description. And also with that, you can get a free printable supply list. And then of course, learn how to make this step-by-step. So that is in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, you can just watch along and ask questions or whatever you feel like doing. Hi, Robin. Robin said, hello from Nags Head, North Carolina. Having an ornament making party soon with some friends. That's amazing. So these are some scraps that we have left over in the shop. These are all, I believe, from Moda Sparkle and Shine, which they had a few years ago. We consider it the precious, the precious fabrics, some of our favorites. And they haven't had too many metallics in the last few years. A little bit, but not too many. And they certainly haven't had anything like these, which has this glitter in it. And what was really special about these glitter fabrics from this line is that it's like gold and silver together. These were just, they are just so pretty. I wish they would come back out with something similar, but we're still waiting. Patty said, which lined ball are you using today? I ordered the 8 excuse me, the 8 divided line balls. Those are the best ones to get for all these starter patterns, and this is the 8 as well. So the basic star, this pattern, snow globes, a lot of our starter patterns use the 8 segment line. So you did good. Deborah said, made my first ornament last night. One side looks good. The other side's kind of wonky, but everything takes practice and I'm not sad about it. That is a good outlook. And that's how it is. It takes a few times to get it, to start getting it down. And hey, you can always turn it this way out on your Christmas tree so the good side's showing and nobody will see the back. Hi, Sally. Sally said, hi, y'all from Oregon. Hope you are all having a wonderful day. I hope you are too, Sally. Thanks for showing up here today. I think I'm gonna measure my first couple pieces this time just because it's been a while since I've done this pattern. This pattern starts really similar to the basic star, but our third layer on is gonna be just a little bit different. So I wanna make sure I get the measurement right here, which is 3/8 of an inch. Hey Gretchen. I don't think I've seen you in a few days, have I? Gretchen said, hello, all getting back to Western New York after our Thanksgiving, 10 days away at your daughter's house. I remember you were saying that. Back up to cold New York. My line is not quite centered here, so I'm going to go off the line just a touch. Patty is from Western New York too. Gretchen didn't miss the snow down south. I bet you didn't. Every once in a while I miss the snow. I'm in Florida and I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. And every once in a while I miss seeing some snow here and there, but in general, I don't miss it too much, I have to admit. Lori said, I made my first ornament Saturday. It took me hours. Lori, I promise you it gets faster. Once you get it down, and it only takes a couple, it gets much faster and easier. Hi, CJ. Hey, Catherine. Catherine said, I haven't missed too much. Come to Canada. We have lots of snow for you. Oh my goodness, I bet you do. I would die. I'm really acclimated to Florida now. I moved here a little over 20 years ago now. And I'm just totally acclimated. Hi, Patty. Rhonda said, oh, I missed a few comments there. Creative Mind said, the snow is really pretty the first time for the year, and then it turns cold and ugly. Yeah, it gets messy and ugly and muddy. The salt trucks come through and it just turns into a big old mess. And Rhonda said, I miss getting snow. We get some here in Georgia, but not a lot. I'm good with one good snow a year, but it only lasts about a day. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with that too. Going away before you can get sick of it. The first year that we lived in Florida, My husband was still alive, of course, at the time, and I have pictures of him putting Christmas lights up on, he's up on the roof of the house and he's putting Christmas lights up in like a t-shirt and shorts. And it was so funny because other people were walking like around the neighborhood and stuff, and they had like hats and gloves on, and we're like, what is going on with these people? We're like, it's not cold, this is not cold. And then like the very next year, we're just shivering along with everyone else. It does not take long to get acclimated to this warm weather. I remember those pictures. I remember that time so vividly, but I took pictures of it because the sun, you know, the sky was so pretty. The sun was setting and it was like pinkish and orange, and it was so odd to be putting Christmas lights on the house in that kind of environment. It just felt tropical and not Christmassy. And I wasn't sure I was going to like it. I honestly wasn't sure I was going to like Florida for the first couple years. It took me a while, but then now I'm a Floridian at this point. Okay, so here's where we're going to deviate from the basic star pattern and turn this into the Sunburst. I'm going to save the pretty holly fabric for my outer layer. I'm going to go back to the cream color for this layer. Lori said, do you ever skip pins, the left and right triangle pins, and then tack them down when you put the next piece of fabric on? Yeah, I do sometimes. There's even some patterns that we've got where we do that on purpose, just to, because there's so many layers and pins in general that we want to try to save pins that way. But you can absolutely do that with these too. And that'll save you, because the pins can be one of the more expensive parts of these. It adds up anyway. You are welcome, Lori. I don't like this corner sticking out, so I'm going to pull it down just a little bit and get it out of my way. Gretchen said, love this community. I love this community too, Gretchen. I totally agree with you. Thanks for saying that. There's a few Patties going on in the comments right now, you guys. I'm a little off with this red piece right here. It's a little too far up, which is gonna throw off my starburst a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too much. Patty said, oh my gosh, I love this pattern so far. Thanks, Patty. It's cool how you can put the pieces on in just a little bit of a different way and it makes it look completely different, isn't it? Instead of putting them right on top, directly on top of the layer below, just putting them between like this gives it a whole other effect. And this kind of creates like almost like a sun effect going around the center. CJ said, this is the only place I plan on coming to and hopefully make some friends. Oh, CJ, thank you for saying that. You were definitely among friends here. Lori said, I like that you pointed that out. It shows that we all make mistakes. Well, we definitely do. So I'm glad you found that helpful. I make them all the time. And in the edited videos that we have on the channel, they're edited. We're trying to teach. So a lot of times the mistakes are edited out. But I know they can be helpful to see. And yes, I make mistakes all the time. Believe me. You know, sometimes mistakes is how we come up with a new pattern. The designers and I have talked about that in the past. When you're just like messing around with something, sometimes a mistake can lead to a whole new design. Robin said, love this pattern and it goes together quickly. Yes, it does. About the same as the regular 4-layer basic star. It's the same amount of layers. It's 4 layers per side. So, and it's an easy one. So it can get real quick when you get used to it. And also, really, there's a little bit less measuring. I didn't even have to measure for this layer because I'm just aiming them for between the points that are created between the second layer pieces. So I measured a little on the first layer. I should have measured more, and then my star would have been a little less wonky. But measuring, I think I said the first layer, but the second layer down, and then you can also measure a little bit from the last layer. But it's an easy one to learn to eyeball too. What's the name of this pattern? Gretchen said, I see that Robin answered below. It's the Sunburst. And yes, that's correct. And again, just in case you missed the first minute or so of this, I've got a link to the full pattern along with the supply list in the description if you guys want to go find the whole step-by-step tutorial. Patty said, Stacy, watching you on the big screen. Awesome. That's awesome. You might even be able to see all the glitter in the fabric on the big screen. Creative Mind said, like Bob Ross with the happy little trees. Yeah. Lori asked, are you putting the first pin slightly off center to the left? Good catch, Lori. Yes, I was putting it just slightly off center, and I was doing that so that the right side, when I folded it down, reached down a little bit further. Good eye. Oh, Patty said, with this pattern, you're starting the first pin a little off center. I was kind of just doing it a little bit. I wasn't being real exact about that, but just starting it tiny bit off center will make it so that that right side folded down comes down a little bit further. And it'll just make it a little bit easier to hide these last pins as we get to the next layer. Nancy said, I missed the beginning. I guess better late than never. Absolutely. And I am still on the first side. So if you missed what I did already, you'll see it when I go to do the second side. Patty can see the glitter. This fabric is so pretty. We just love it. Okay, so layer 4, we're going back to basic triangles. And these I'm gonna put just a little below the tips of those last triangles. That last fold was the prism fold, and then now we're going back to the basic triangle fold. And I think I'm gonna come down a little lower. I believe it's 3/8 of an inch. So the goal here is to just kind of create like a little edge. Let me see where I'm at with this one. It's really more important that whatever measurement you pick here, because you could bring it up a little bit more and show less of the layer 3 pieces, or you could bring it back and show a little more. But really you just want to try to be consistent, whatever measurement that you end up picking there. There's not a lot of contrast here between these last 2 layers, which I don't love. It's making me wonder if I should have flip-flopped some colors, but let's see, I think I did not have enough starting pieces of the red to do in the center and the 3rd layer, so I kind of had to go with what I had a lot of, although I have tons of the holly, but I didn't want that for the 2 layers. I thought that'd be too busy. Lori said that is so pretty. I love Christmas fabrics. Me too. I think that also what I can do here to kind of add a little contrast is maybe put some little beads or something at the tips. And that will help separate out these 2 fabrics from each other. Either way, it is still really pretty. We've talked about this before too, how just using different fabrics can make something look completely different. Patty said, are these 2 by 3 inch pieces? Yes, they are. I want to center these, not off to the left. Mad Princess, who I think is Kelly, if I'm remembering correctly. Sorry if that's not you, Kelly, if you're another person. I've been in a meeting for work watching out of one eye. Awesome. Okay, yes. I'm glad. I'm trying to remember everyone's username and their real name. CJ said, I love to use Swarovski crystals, diamond dot painting beads. If it blings, it's on my ornament. The diamond dots is a great idea. I never thought of that. I bought one of those kits like a while ago, and I never made it. But I wanted to try it because it looks so pretty. Catherine said, I went online to look at the fabric from Riley Blake. You said Blake Riley, but yeah, Riley Blake. I was astounded at the price. The minimum order is 500 and over 1,000. Yeah, for over the course of the year. Yep. I just do this as a hobby. Too rich for my blood. You know what? They have those wholesale minimums if you're going directly from Riley Blake, but you can find it by the yard at a lot of the online quilt shops and fabric retailers, where you wouldn't have to get a lot, but they are expensive, and so are all of them these days. The price of fabric has really, really gone up in the past year or two. Hey, Phil. CJ said they have ones that you can send them a picture and they make it into a diamond painting. Wow, I didn't know that. I think the one that I bought was like a diamond galaxy kind of picture. And I know I still have it around here somewhere. I just never made it. It seems like it would be relaxing. Lori said, I miss Joanne. I know. I think you're in good company with that, Lori. We all do. Phil said, I'm making Christmas cards using the diamond dots. That's a good idea. Patty said, hey Patty, I think you already said hi. Are you showing me of layer 3 on the right of layer 4? I don't know if I understand the question. Are you showing me a layer 3 on the right of layer 4? I don't know what you mean, Patty. I'm sorry. CJ said, me too. You mean the Christmas cards with the diamond painting things? Teresa said, again, I'm late. You're not too late, Teresa. You're not too late. I'm getting ready to start side 2, so you'll get to see at least one side being done. Gretchen said, wow, that's beautiful. Oh, more of. Are you showing more of layer 3 on the right of layer 4? So I'm coming down 3/8 of an inch off of layer 3, right centered in the middle. So I'm trying to show the same amount, but it is like a little, it's just this little sliver. Is that kind of what you're asking? CJ said, I miss Joanne's, and yes, I put them on the cards. I really like that idea. I feel like that would be sparkly. Patty said, I love these fabrics. So pretty. Thanks, Patty. We love these too. I really want to see what this is going to look like with. I don't want to do too many beads. The beads were either going to go, whoops, it's not going to stay. Let me get some pins. I just can't wait to see what this is going to look like. I don't know if I want to put them on the points of the red pieces or if I want to put them between the cream and the holly. Originally it was going to be like right there, and that also kind of helps to, if you have any wonky parts, that can help to hide that a little bit. Yeah, I think that might be the spot, but the other option was here to sort of separate the holly from the cream layer. That's pretty too. You guys will have to let me know what you think. So either at the points between red pieces, it might almost be too busy in those parts. I'm not sure, but that's like way closer to the center. They're a little more spread out if they're on these points. You guys can tell me what you think. Okay, Patty said yes. Okay, so that answered the question then, I hope. Phil said, I just put the video on my TV. Great view while I sew. Awesome. Rhonda said, this is so pretty. CJ said, by the way, love the December Ornament Girls ornament. Are you talking about the Christmas Club, CJ? This one, I feel like I keep showing you guys this one in videos lately, but we are pretty excited about it. This is the one that was inspired by Robin, who is here today in the chat. Rhonda said, I really love this pattern. Thanks, Rhonda. Okay, CJ said, I like where they are now. Right there looks good, Suzanne said. 1952 Trouble said, red points. That's a tough one, guys. CJ said, nope, the regular club. You had a sneak peek. Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad you like it. And I love the Christmas Club, too. I'm glad to hear it. I don't have that one up here with me, I don't believe. Otherwise, I would show you guys. Do I have this one up here? I don't think I do. Darn. It's super, just very quilty looking. I'm glad you like it. I'll have to bring that one and show you guys tomorrow. You know what? I think it was Creative Minds that asked me yesterday, this is reminding me, that asked me if I had ever made an ornament with velvet ribbon. Was that you, Creative Minds? I think. Let me scroll back up. You're here, right? I'm pretty sure I saw you here. But I found that ornament when I was putting some ornaments on the tree. CJ said, nope. Oh, I already read that one. And Robin said, I like that one too. Okay, Creative Minds, I found it. So it's right here. And I used two thick materials. This is the flurry pattern, which is, you know, it's one of our paid patterns. It's, excuse me, it's available in my shop. But hopefully it gives you an idea for any of the ornaments. It's a chunk. This thing is thick because it used this thick material. But the red is actually ribbon, and it's velvet ribbon. And it came out really pretty. I was so happy with it. And you can even see the edges of the velvet right here in this center little snowflake pattern. I got through it, but it was a thing to put this thing together. And I haven't made one since. But this one's got a little dust on it. Or not dust, but snow from my Christmas tree. But it came out nice. So I love it. And I will never sell it because I loved it so much, but I never want to make another one. But it was worth it. So that kind of gives you an idea. It just really thickens things up. Lori said, I've got a good 6 inches of snow today and it's still coming down. Wow. Very Christmassy though. Robin said, is that the flurry pattern? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we haven't really done much with this pattern lately. We might have had it in a challenge last year. I can't remember, but I do love this pattern. It's a really, really pretty one. But yeah, velvet ribbon, harder to work with, but very pretty. Creative Mind said, so if using velvet, should I use a thin fabric? You know, you have to be careful with that because you want to make sure that the fabrics balance each other. This fabric that I used with this is like a costume fabric. It was probably from Joanne from way back when. And it is a thick feeling fabric, but it was easy to pin through. It was like a loosely woven costume fabric. And the reason I use this is because I did want the thickness to sort of balance the thickness of the velvet, but I also didn't want it to hurt too much to push pins through all those layers because the velvet itself was already hard enough to push through. So I wanted something thick to be able to balance with the thickness of the velvet, but not be too, like, add to how difficult it was to push through, if that makes sense. This is pretty thick when it's folded. So, and you also don't want it to get lost. I accidentally missed Patty's comment up there. Are you planning to sell a bundle with the holly fabric in it? Are you talking about this one? I don't think we have much of this left over. This was scraps that Tammy dug out in the shop, and I'm not sure that we have much more of this one. I can find out for you though, Patty. Just Me said, beautiful, thank you. Thank you. Lori said it must hurt pushing in those pins. Yeah, in the velvet it was a little bit painful. Oh, bye, Robin. Robin said I have to go. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah, on the velvet it was a thing for sure. Creative Mind said, thank you for showing us the velvet ornament. It's beautiful. Thank you very much, and you're very welcome. I was thinking earlier how I feel like I'm going to have just a bunch of my ornaments sitting here so that they're available when you guys ask a question. I can just grab it and show you. CG said that's a good idea. Yeah. I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, what could I do? Like, I've been wanting to get one of those big metal trees. We had talked about that, I think, a week or two ago. And maybe I could have that sitting somewhere nearby. It wouldn't fit in my office because I just have too much going on in here. But maybe it could be sitting right outside my office in my living room. And just have them available. Creative Mind said that print that you're using today reminds me of some Christmas fabric by Three Sisters from last year. Yeah, it does sort of have that vibe. Which one did they have out last year? I have bought a lot of Three Sisters. I really gravitate towards that style, kind of that shabby chic style. I don't think that theirs last year, I don't think that we got, and I don't remember it being metallic or glittery. But it's got a similar vibe. And this is also Moda, and I feel like a lot of times the look can kind of, the look of the different lines can sort of cross over to each other. I'm pretty sure this is the Sparkle and Shine though. I'm pretty sure. And the reason I think that is because of that glitter. Okay, next is the red layer. It's easy to get thrown off here. On the basic star, your layers all line up in the same lines, but here on this Sunburst, my last layer of side one does not align with some of these layers, and so you got to really pay attention to the segment lines. Lori said funny, but I can't see the glitter in the holly fabric. Yeah, it's probably hard to see depending on what you're watching this on. Especially in the cream, I'm sure it's really, really hard. But yeah, the cool thing about these fabrics, and I was talking about this in the beginning, so sorry if I sound like a broken record, but it's gold and silver glitter in here. It's really, really pretty. I wish I would have gotten more of all of these like solids and tonals and stuff from that line, because they just go with so much. They're easy to pair up with other fabrics. Also, this red is amazing. I love this red. It's so vibrant. Creative Mind said, I love Three Sisters. It was called A Christmas Carol. Okay. I don't think we bought any from that line. I had bought a bunch from, I think, the Christmas line they had before that. And I have a hard time not getting Three Sisters. In fact, for a couple of years for our Christmas challenge, I used Three Sisters fabrics. And let's see, I really, there was a line they had years ago. It's hanging out right behind me, so this is convenient. But here is my absolute favorite line from Three Sisters. And this was, oh gosh, Rue 1800, I want to say, something like that. And I still have, I like tried to find it from quilt shops and stuff, because by the time I found this fabric, it was already out. I couldn't order it wholesale anymore. And I just like bought a bunch from different quilt shops. I always go back to this fabric for when I'm just making my own personal things. And I love how, it's not Christmassy, but I just love that look. I love pink and gold and just that whole shabby look. If they came out with a Christmas line that had glitter in it or metallic too, I think I'd probably faint. Oh, and you're making a quilt with the Christmas Carol. Oh man. I don't know how to quilt. I would like to learn that one day. Kelly said, I have that same red glitter fabric, but I'm almost out from using on ornaments. I feel your pain. We call this the precious Gollum style. Patty said they make all those fabrics shimmer. I have some creams and greens like that. Yeah, it might be that. I feel like they should make these basics, because they have some glitter basics. It's the grunge glitter, which I like the grunge sometimes. I don't think it works for everything, but it can work nice for some things. But if they would just come out with some solids with the glitter, I'd be happy. And they don't, and even that is not like this kind of glitter with the silver and the gold mixed together. It's more of like I think just a silver glitter. But I don't know if it's maybe more expensive to make. I mean, things have definitely changed over the last few years. Fabrics have gotten more expensive and they have less bling. Creative Mind said, I have taught some of my friends. I'm far from perfect, but always happy to share what I know. I would just love to learn. Patty said, I agree, Stacy. Teresa said, I love all the glittery fabrics for the ornaments. Me too. It can really add a lot. Uh, 1952 Trouble said, I don't have a big Christmas tree. I have a small tabletop. I'm 73 and live in a senior apartment. So the ornaments I'm going to make will go in my dough bowl. Okay. You know, they do make great sit-abouts. Great bowl fillers, great sit-abouts. Especially like, well, maybe not for a bowl, but for sitting around, you could do some of the patterns on a cube shape so it can sit. You could put it on a shelf. I like to put those like in my kitchen. I have a shelf in there with all my like cookbooks and stuff. and I will sit ornaments in front of those. I have a whole stack of ornaments beside me right now, you guys, because I'm collecting all the ones that need hangers, but I happen to have one square one here too. I have 2 square ones. So like, oh, this one's cute. I'll show you this one. Little jingle elf. This is the cutest for just sitting around. You don't have to have a hanger on it. You just set it on a shelf. And adorable. Because yeah, they're big. These are big ornaments. So you kind of need a big tree. Or just set them around. CJ said bling is a good thing. That's my motto. Yes, I agree. Teresa said, I love quilting and I love the idea of making an ornament that matches a quilt. Yes. And also you can use your scraps from the quilt, because I know you know, when you're making those, I don't know how to make them, but I know you have scraps left over and stuff. Perfect way to use those and have it match. Thanks, Lori. Lori said that's adorable. I'm thinking you meant about the little jingle elf. I can't see my segment lines anymore, and I'm following the line from here and I'm a little off. Let me straighten that out just a bit. I think I need to bring this guy down a little bit too. Nancy said, I love bling on my ornaments. They're a great way to show off bling, for sure. I think we were talking about this last week, maybe? I can't remember, but you know, they're a good way to show off like heirloom stuff too. You know, like if you have like brooches or pins or things that you want to show off, not necessarily wear, not necessarily have sitting out, but putting them on these is a really great way to do that, to show them off. Yes, Teresa said, yes, you do. Yep. About the scraps. I figured that you probably have a lot of scraps left over. Lori said, yes, the jingle elf. Creative Minds, I love that idea of a matching ornament. I usually make matching runners, but I have too many of those. Now you have something else, Creative Minds. Teresa said, I just made the cute little soldier with, oh yeah, that was in the Facebook group, right? Did you show that in the Facebook group? I feel like I'm remembering that. Am I remembering wrong? Let's see, layer 3 is back to the cream color, and we're doing this one layer of prism folds. I might be thinking of a band member. Oh, okay. Teresa said, not yet. I just made it this weekend. Please post it. I want to see. It might have been that somebody made one like a band for their like granddaughter or grandson or something. I feel like I remember seeing that. He is so cute and so much fun to make, Teresa said. Yeah, and it's a pretty easy one. It's really not that many folds in fabric. Yeah, fun, and all the colors and combinations and stuff that you can do. Let me move this over just a little bit. if I have enough pieces. I think I'm gonna just make it here. The Jingle Elf was a kit as well, wasn't it? Yeah, you know what? We did a Nutcracker version of it, I think, for the kit. Let me look. Let me check really quick. I think that's what we did. It's funny because a long time ago I knew every single kit inside and out, and now sometimes I have a hard time remembering. Yes, December 2023 we did a Nutcracker version of the Jingle Elf, which is adorable. Suzanne said, yes, you did. Kelly said, is the Nutcracker kit still available? I would love to add it to my Nutcracker collection. We have, I think, let me look really fast before I say this in case I'm wrong. I know at one time we don't have the whole kit anymore, but at one time we had a mini kit with all those parts to the Nutcracker. Let me just see though, because we might not have that any longer. We do still have it. And you know what, really quick, let me pull up a picture on my phone so I can show you what this looks like. I forgot too that the search bar isn't working on mobile on my site, which is annoying. So I guess I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to show you a picture of this on here, guys. Here, let me do this. I will just put a link directly into the chat. Oh, Suzanne's already on it here. I should have looked before. Here's a direct link to that little, it's a mini kit. So it's not all of the pieces. It's not the fabric, but it has, there's a picture of what it has, and it's all those little doodads, which is really the most difficult part. And then you can use your own like gold fabric, red fabric. It's funny, in the picture, the red fabric is this red fabric. I forgot that we had used that, but it comes with the mustache and the feather and the beads and the little filigree corners and everything like that. I wish I could show you guys a picture, but that link shows a picture of a finished ornament example if you use that little mini kit. Oh, Suzanne said, yes, we have them in silver and gold. Thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne, you're hired. Yes, Connie said it was for the Christmas Club. Yep, December 2023. Kelly said, I will go get it. I have an order ready to go also. All right, awesome, Kelly. Thank you. Yep, Teresa said, that is what I was thinking. It was the same red fabric. Yep. Okay, that was the kit that you just did. It was perfect for that. Perfect for that. We're going to rename Peaceful Pinning to Yappin' Pin, because that's what I'm doing more of. I'm yapping. If I find my Nutcracker ornament sometime in the next day or two, I'll show you guys on one of the live streams this week. I've got one somewhere. I've been bringing down boxes like one at a time and just slowly going through them, putting them on the tree. Teresa said, yappin' pin. I love it. Oh, there's my dog barking. Once he starts, the other one, Ivy, the little one, joins in. So we might have a little howl session going on here in a second. I keep thinking I ought to just put them in here with me, but if like the Amazon guy just happens to pull up or something while I'm doing this, it will be all over. Like, Creative Mind said it would be fun to have New Year's Eve yapping pin. I love that. I certainly am not going anywhere. I don't leave my house anymore on New Year's. I might have to go shut my office door because today I decided to leave it open because nobody else is home, but the dogs are going to get loud, I think. Lori agrees that that would be fun. The New Year's Eve yapping pin. Cat Law said, wow, you are so good getting everything even without that tape measure. Thank you. Not perfect though. If you look really closely, you can see that my star on both sides is a little wonky. CJ said, I don't stay up that late. I'm with you. I used to, not anymore. I love bedtime. I love going to bed. I look forward to it. I am happy when I'm in bed early. The earlier that it says on the clock that I'm in bed, I have a smile on my face. Look at that, one piece to spare. Kelly said, New Year's Eve pinning party. I'm there for it. CJ said, agree. It's funny when you get older and wiser, right? You realize how precious sleep is. Hey, Carmen. Carmen said, hello, everyone. Yep. Cat Law said, well, okay. Wonky means you get the Willy Wonka golden ticket. That's a good way to look at it. Nancy said, I've been a night owl most of my life, so staying up isn't an issue. I used to be a night owl, and it just all changed. I mean, literally within the last year or so. CJ said, can we celebrate Pacific Standard Time? It'll be 9 p.m. Yeah, Teresa said it doesn't always work out when you have to get up early for work. Very true. Aw, Catherine said New Year's makes me sad, so I don't observe New Year's. I'm sorry to hear that. It's crazy to think we're even talking about New Year's this year. It just seems like it's gone by so fast. I feel like this would have been really pretty also with the red and white flip-flopped, and I think I did not have enough red for that, but that would be interesting to try. I wonder if I can find some more scraps of the red and give that a shot, because I feel like the contrast of the red against the holly would have been really pretty. Just a different look. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow or later this week, just to show the difference. Yes, Carmen agrees, way too fast. They get faster and faster every year, I guess. Seems like the older that I'm getting, that the time is going faster and faster. Lori said Thanksgiving was so late that Christmas is coming quickly. Yeah, it sure is. It took me a while to even register yesterday that it was December. Cat Law said to Catherine, I pray that the new year will be different for you, this one coming. I pray happy for you. That's a beautiful thing to say. It definitely makes it difficult if something happens, you know, on a specific day, and then you just always remember that thing going forward. It can kind of put a damper, and it can take a while to get past that, for sure. I don't know what your reasoning is, Catherine, but I agree with Cat Law. I hope that you have a happier new year this year. For a very long time, I had a hard time with Valentine's Day. My husband died on Valentine's Day, so it was like I could not observe Valentine's Day at all. That was a while ago, though, so it's gotten easier over time, for sure. Catherine said, thank you, Cat Law. I hope this year has happy surprises for you, too. Thank you, Carmen. It's definitely easier now, but I just understand. I just wanted to express that, just to say that I totally understand what it's like when a day is more difficult because of something from the past. You know, it can be easy to associate specific days like that with that bad thing, you know. CJ said, my mom passed on a birthday a week before Mother's Day. Oh my goodness. Now it's twice as hard. This one's hard to see. Hard to see where I'm cutting here. Cat Law said, my family's members like to depart this earth on holidays. I guess it's their way of being remembered. Cat Law, that is a really good perspective on it. I like your perspective. It's their way of being remembered. 1952 Trouble said, Christmas is hard for me because my husband passed away on the 23rd of December, and this year it'll be 23 years, but I have a 10-year-old grandson that keeps me busy. I'm glad to hear that your grandson can keep you busy and distracted, and that's a source of happiness and joy, you know, something to look forward to. Definitely sorry to hear about your husband, though. Yes, Carmen said, I understand also. I'm very sensitive to this too. Life gives us our challenges. It sure does. It sure does. Challenges, and then also really wonderful happy moments too. And those are the things, you know, to hang on to. Just like 1952 trouble, sad grandson, things like that, things to hang on to. Now, guys, to decide what I want the top of this to be. I definitely have a wonky star. I'm trying to see. It's funny, like, it's pretty wonky like this, but if you turn it a little bit, it looks a little better. It looks real weird like that. That way it looks a little bit better too. With this one also, I tend to go for having one of those second layer spokes facing up and down. I just tend to like that better on this pattern, but it's really just a matter of preference. And let me look at the other side. Yeah, I think I'll make this my top. Once you get everything on in the bow and stuff like that, it's like, it's funny because you won't see all the little imperfections as much when you're looking at it as a whole with everything on there. But when you're in the middle of making it, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'll tend to just like find every little thing that's wrong that no one else is ever going to see. This is a nice stretchy fabric. Hi, Pepper Spot. I haven't seen you in the chat in a while. Pepper Spot said a coworker's birthday is September 11th, so she stopped celebrating. I told her having a birthday was a reason to celebrate. Yeah, I agree with you. Teresa said it kind of looks like a poinsettia to me. It does kind of have that vibe, doesn't it? I think that red kind of looks like a little bit of a flower. You know, that is interesting that you say that. It's making me think, if you did the first layer in red too and had those first two layers blend together, it would really look like a flower at that point, wouldn't it? That might be something interesting to try. Creative Mind said that's going to be a beautiful ornament. Thank you. That is just so pretty, Cat Law said. Lori said, yes, it's gorgeous. I'd love to have it. Thank you, Lori. Catherine said, we're all so critical of our own work. 100%. We see everything, every little thing that no one else would ever even notice. Cat Law said, I had ordered a second VIP November kit and I did it again last night. Now I'm just waiting on my Christmas Club December kit to arrive. Awesome. The November VIP kit was so pretty, wasn't it? Good for you for getting your hands on 2 of them. Teresa said, yes, it would. That's a great idea. Yeah, thank you for the inspiration, Teresa, because I wouldn't have thought of it without what you said. Okay, now I gotta find some ribbons. Let me, I just realized I have my ribbon rack across the room practically. Let me go get it. I'm thinking some red and gold. Not too gold, like not gold by on its own, but I've got a red. Let's see, where's it at? That one, I think, has just a touch of gold on the edges. Creative Mind said it might even look like a poinsettia with the right color placement. Yeah, totally. Patty said just stepped away for a few minutes. Can you show the whole ornament again? Turning it around. Yep. Here's what it looks like so far. I'm going to put some bows on it. And I think I'm really going to go heavy on red. I think that'll be a nice topper. Excuse me, guys. Kelly said do the first 4 pieces in a darker shade of red for some added dimension. Love that idea. Love that idea. And then do some small beads in the center. I love that idea. Patty said pretty. Thanks, Patty. Okay, so we have this. Let's see. I'm looking for my red Radiance ribbon, which has got some shimmer, but I don't think... Oh, okay. Let me see. I actually think I have the wrong red out. That was more of a scarlet. This is more of a red. And then I have this ribbon. I really think I want to stick to all red up on top. I feel like if I do like a cream, even though it would match, I like the idea of just doing all red. I feel like it would look like a bow, kind of like a bow sitting on top and be really pretty. Like a gift bow type of thing, like for a present. And I feel like if I add cream in there, it's going to take away. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see what this looks like. Originally, I thought I was going to do red and cream. At least that's what I kind of thought in my head for a second, but oh, I got a little behind on the comments. 1 second, guys. Oh, and I have the taffeta also. I think maybe let me try. I think I'm going to try these first and we'll see what this looks like. Catlaw said, hubby loves when my kits arrive. He doesn't even complain or ask the cost. It keeps me from what he calls nagging at him, and that makes him happy. Happy. Well, I'm glad that he doesn't mind that you're doing something fun for yourself. CJ said, since you have so many, you can donate that to a low-income household. Just an idea. You know, we've done some donating things. In fact, Kennedy has donated to a nursing home, I think more than once at Christmas time, and decorated their tree, which I thought was an amazing idea. And Tammy has been working on, and I'm sure that we're going to revive this when she watches this later and sees this, but she bought a domain for us for the business that we want to start using as a way to start doing some more donations, because we do have a lot of ornaments for sure. Cat Law said he gets all happy when he brings in the mail and yells, LWB is here. That's amazing. I love that. Patty said maybe a touch of green ribbon. Yeah, for contrast. Yeah, that might be pretty too. I was a little afraid to go with green because I don't have... Green is a weird one. I know I've told you guys this before. Tammy calls green impossible green because it's so hard. If you're a little off, like with the shade of green, it can go so wrong. Green is a weird one. It could have too much like blue in it, or it could have like go more in the like the pine green type of thing. It's a hard one. This one does have some tonality in it, so it might be a little bit easier. I can tell you right now that some of the greens I have sitting right beside me are like way off. And it just feels like if you don't have the right shade of green, it's hard. Or a military family. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Catherine said, too funny, Cat Law. Patty said, matching the holly in the fabric. Yeah, and yeah, that's what I was saying though. It is a little bit hard. CJ said, love that. Cat Law said, I give mine away as part of the tip to delivery people, cash and an ornament. They love it. I love that idea. What a great idea. Suzanne said, green is so hard to match sometimes. Yep. Pepper Spot said, blue is also hard to get right for me. Blue is another one. Yeah, I think because it's like a similar family as the green. It can be a thing. If you don't have the right shade, it can just go way, way wrong. So it's a hard one. Yeah, and I think I was telling you guys about this a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't got all my ribbon put away yet that I brought out from the shop. And I know I have a lot more shades of green here somewhere, but it's not all in front of me. And the ones that I have, they're just not right. They're just not right for this. They're all in this kind of shade, which is just way too bright. Yeah, it's not going to work. I do, however, think that I like the reds. So I'll do another bow with that same mixture. I got 3 different reds here. I'm going to go down to a 6.5 inch length. All right. Now I got to figure out which reds I had here. I think it was these guys. I had 1 of that one and 2 of the gold. Tammy gave me some charms also that we have new, semi-new in the shop. And I thought maybe I'd put one of those on here too, but I'm actually thinking no, it's not going to be the right vibe. Too whimsical. This is more elegant than I was expecting it to be. So I think I'm going to stick with no charm because I don't really think I have anything else that would work. Those are cute, but it's not really right for this. Let me see. I think I might just stick with the gold beads. I think that that'll be a really good, subtle decoration, and it'll kind of let the fabrics be the star and the pattern itself be the star of the show. And since we're almost done, I just want to remind you guys that if you want the full step-by-step tutorial for this pattern, it's available right here on YouTube, and I put a link in the description. And then we have, of course, a download with the supply list. Looks like this with that video. Oh, there goes the dogs. I know you guys can hear it today with my door open here. They usually only go for about 60 seconds. Cat Law said, oh, and I always tell all people the word ornament doesn't mean Christmas only. I say to all, remember, ornaments aren't just for Christmas. Amen, sister. Totally not. We like making them all year round. Just like we were saying earlier, they make great little sit-abouts. I don't think I have any non-Christmas ones sitting here beside me. Oh, there they go. They're done. That was pretty close to about a minute, right? Here's one that's not Christmassy. Little rosette pattern. It's Christmassy too, but it could be non-Christmassy. That's the only one I have sitting around here right now that's not Oh, no, that's not true. I've got one. I pulled this one out in case anybody talked about embroidery again, because I made this for my daughter like a million years ago when she was 12. She's 22 now, so this is from a long time ago with the embroidery in the center. But I made this for her birthday. So yeah, not just for Christmas. Carol said, hi, Stacey Ann, word to the wise. Store the ornament bows up. Yes. I had to reboot mine because they all got squished. I used spray starch and they came back to life. That's a good idea. Yeah, they will get squished. I like to put them in like shoebox bins. And we have like these bins that we use in the shop that are probably about this tall. And they're perfect for just sitting them up. You can have them sitting up against each other, you know, all like this is perfectly fine. As long as those bows are kept up and not squished. Kelly said, don't forget your thumbs up. Thank you. You guys, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. It really, really helps. And I greatly appreciate it. Patty said, oh my, Huskies? Nope, they're not even Huskies. They are Portuguese water dogs. The lower pitched one was Vigo, my boy, my son. And the higher pitched one was his little sister, Ivy. And once one of them starts, the other one goes, and that's the end of it. Here they are. Their picture, my kids, right here on my phone. They're the cutest. That's Ivy, and that's Vigo. They're very vocal. Teresa said, I have 3 Huskies, so I understand the howling. Huskies are vocal. Catherine said the dogs are giving us a Christmas concert. Yes, that was like a Christmas concert. Kelly said, I plan on offering embroidered ones starting in January. Yeah, you know, it's such a good way to personalize them. I think I was telling you guys a couple of days ago, I had that embroidery machine. It was just a really basic one. And I really got into it. I don't want to say I really got into it. I wanted to get into it even more, but I did as much as I could. Time-wise, but I love it, and I really would like to get a new, maybe a little nicer of an embroidery machine, because I think personalizing them adds a whole new thing. And especially, like, you know, we were talking about the angels being a really good gift. You could embroider something like a date or a name on the bottom piece of an angel, so it's kind of hidden underneath, but it has a little personalization to it. There's just so many ways that you could use this. Oh, it's funny. Right, I have another one sitting right here. I've been piling them up over here, guys, as I'm trying to like work through my collection. But this is embroidery too that I did at the time. This one was harder because I did it on a satin costume fabric. But that snowflake is embroidered, and I just added some beads to it. And this was one of my favorite pieces of embroidery that I had done. And it was easy because it was all white, so I didn't have to change colors. But I'd love to get more into doing that. Yes, Suzanne said, look at the size of that velvet ornament. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the velvet ribbon, and it is a chunk. Cat Law said, I've even printed pictures on material of people or pets and made them into ornaments. Yes, I've seen that. Well, actually, Tammy's done that too, and we've seen people in the Facebook group do it, and it's a great idea. People love those. Really, really good idea too. If you are selling your ornaments, people will buy that kind of thing. You know, a custom ornament like that. People are really, really into that. Patty said, so cute. Thank you, Patty. Cat Law said, if I store an ornament, I use those cupcake boxes and then the bows stay puffy. That's a good idea. CJ said, how do you keep up with their shedding? You know what, CJ? This is the reason I got these dogs. They don't shed. They don't shed. So it is really nice. I have allergies. You can probably hear it in my voice sometimes. And it's great. They don't shed at all. I mean, from maybe an occasional little puff of hair will come off of them, but it's like nothing. Oh, yes, maybe she's referring to the Huskies because they do shed, don't they? Yes, Huskies shed. I used to have a German Shepherd. I loved him. He, 2 years ago, he passed away. He was 7 years old. died back in like 2018, 2019, and man, he could shed. I mean, I would just pet him and the hair would just come off. Catlaw said, that's so pretty. I had a good embroidery machine, never used it, and gave it to a younger cousin who was going to New York City fashion school. I hope she uses it. What a lovely gift. Teresa said, sometimes it's a real nightmare, but I love my pups. I understand. They're like our kids. Yeah, Teresa said it really doesn't matter how much you groom them either. They just shed. I know. With Sully, my German Shepherd mix, it just didn't stop. And like I could brush it, especially like around the back of his back legs. It was like coat after coat. I'm like, where's all this hair coming from? I don't even understand how all this hair is growing. Patty said, yes, ideas for storage. I bought cupcake holder boxes with a window from Amazon. There's an insert for inside the bottom that keeps the ornament stationary. I like that idea. And then you can, especially for a gift with a window, you can see the ornament. That's a really good idea. CJ said they're like kids to me as well. I could never have kids. I have fur babies. They're definitely like our kids. My daughter teases me that my 2 dogs now are like my second set of children. CJ said I bought ornament holders after Christmas for $3 each. Where'd you get them at? Yeah, I bet that's when to get them, right? When they're after Christmas and when it's a little bit cheaper. Teresa said, I know, and you would assume that they'd be bald after a while, but they're not. No, they never go bald. That's right. Catlaw said, too bad you didn't save all that hair and have it spun into yarn. I forgot to do the ornament hanger too. It's funny because I was gonna just do 2 regular bows because I've been doing gift bows all the time, and I thought I'm just gonna do a regular old loop and pin like of one color and then do a regular old loop and pin bow of another color, and then here I ended up going with a gift bow again after all. I just love the texture when you mix up the ribbons together. Nancy said we had a mixed chow dog. She had an undercoat she would lose every summer. Talk about shedding. It came out in sheets. Ugh, that's hard. Sometimes it'll be like the kind of fur that'll like at least billow up together and be like a tumbleweed, but the worst is when it's the kind that just lays on the floor. That's my German Shepherd would just lay. I wish it would just tumbleweed up and, go into the corner. And then everything's covered in hair. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa said, Stacy, the ornament is looking so beautiful. I feel like this bead is not right. CJ said, Patty, I got them at Walmart a day after Christmas. How many do they hold? How many ornaments does it hold? $3 is a really good deal. Nice. Now I just need a hanger. We're going to go with the trusty gold. CJ said 16, I think. It's 12 or 16. That is that's a great deal. Patty said I was planning to do mostly basic stars this year. After seeing this one, I'm switching. Love this one. It's so pretty. Thanks, Patty. You know, you could do a mixture maybe. They're really close to each other. You know, it's just a little switch up there in that third layer. But one little switch up and it makes it look so different. And just for reference for you guys, I don't have a 4-layer basic star, but here's the one that I did yesterday. Don't mind the fact that the beads aren't done. But, I mean, it's just, what a difference, right? They're both pretty. And this one, of course, is only a 3-layer one. But that one little switch off makes it look completely different. That's in my to be finished pile now with the beads. I went down to the shop a little while ago and got myself replenished on gold beads. Catlaw said, years ago I came across a guy on YouTube that if you collected your pet hair and then sent it to him, he'd clean it, make a yarn out of it, and make you a hat from it. Oh my gosh. Wow. I wonder if he's still around. It seems like a lot of work to do that. I'm pretty tickled with this, you guys. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but I am pretty tickled. I feel like I want to make another one with the same fabrics and just switch up the order of the red and the cream. I feel like that would make it look so much different. There'd be more contrast between these outer layers, but I'm not unhappy with how this came out, even with the lower contrast on those outer 2 layers. So guys, as always, if you want the step-by-step and this printable supply list, which tells you everything that you need, the link is in the description for that and the step-by-step tutorial. I would love a thumbs up, you guys, if you enjoyed this, and I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, a few of you guys would love the pet hair into yarn idea. I wonder if he's still around. Thank you, guys. Catlaw said, I love that. It's gorgeous. Teresa said, really is so very pretty. Thank you. Patty said, Stacy, have you ever used small cork dots that stick to your finger to push the pin in so that you don't hurt your thumb? I haven't, and I've seen some various ideas from people, especially in our Facebook group, about doing that. My only worry is that it would affect my just picking up and pinning. I don't know though. I haven't tried it, so maybe it would really help. I tend to just go the lazy route and use other fabric to help push these really difficult ones in, and it's worked okay. But if it was something that didn't get in my way while I was picking up pins and moving along and folding and stuff, I think I would be willing to try it for sure. Catlaw said, I thumbed up and shared. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Patty said, thank you for today. Thank you for being here, you guys. I really appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you sticking with me and watching this. Again, I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I really don't. I feel like I just can't get it together with getting on a schedule, but it'll probably be somewhere in the same neighborhood that I've been on here, like sometime in the afternoon. So I hope I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have been inspired. I'm actually inspired to do another one of this pattern. I haven't done it in so long. Pepper Spot said, get a pin pusher puller. Yeah, I've seen those. We were thinking about trying to come up with our own custom tool that would help with pulling and pushing, but maybe do other things that we do too, that we need for ornamenting. So that's kind of something that we've been tossing around in the OG shop. So maybe a future product coming soon. Alice said, I almost caught up to you. Just have to make a bow and add embellishments. This is a fun pattern. I'm really glad you enjoyed it, Alice. Nancy said, hope I'm on time tomorrow. And oh, Cat Law said sometimes I'll use a little tack hammer if it's hard to push in through the layers. Just got to hold the bottom of the pins to keep it straight. Yeah, because sometimes it'll bend. It's a really good idea as long as you support the length of the pin as you're pushing it in. And sometimes it doesn't matter what you do, it'll bend. But that definitely is a great idea, a little tack hammer. CJ said, I love my pin pusher and would buy the OG one as soon as you make it. Thanks, CJ. We're hoping it can be like a multi-use and specifically for this, you know, because I know those other pin pusher puller things is not specific to the ornamenting thing. So if we can come up with something that was way more specific to it, I think that'd be really cool. Cat Law said, I use a cuticle wand to help remove if I have to. That's a really good idea. All right, you guys. Sorry, I was signing off a minute ago and then I got caught back up in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Give me a like if you feel like it, guys, and happy ornamenting.